My guilty pleasure would have to
My
be.
guilty
My
pleasure.
guilty pleasure.
My guilty pleasure.
My secret guilty pleasure is
My guilty pleasure.
Guilty pleasure.
My guilty
would be
pleasure. My guilty pleasure is
Baking all of the Pillsbury cookies that are pre-cut and then telling people I made them myself.
A nice dinner out with a good bottle of wine.
McDonald's French fries instead of
Chocolate?
coffee.
Mochas.
Candy and chocolate.
Probably house.
The Biggest Loser?
watching reruns of Sex and the City.
The Hills.
90210, the TV show.
Glee.
Oh my god, Glee.
Singing and dancing around my living room, pretending I'm performing on Broadway.
Big Bang.
Love Actually.
Disney TV shows like Hannah Montana.
Old Disney movies.
Neopets.
Facebook, it's really addicting. Farmville on Facebook.
Taylor Swift.
Secretly madly in love with Selena Gomez.
Being one of those Twilight girls. Twilight, I've read each one 12 times.
Twilight.
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 My guilty pleasure is Vampire Diaries. Far superior to Twilight. Watch it.
"143 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list. 70 million copies sold worldwide. Over $380 million at the box office. The Twilight Saga has ignited an international frenzy like never before."
For people who haven't read it, it's a very easy, generalized, good, intriguing, compelling, interesting story. I think girls obsessing about, Twilight or about, the movie stars in Twilight, that, that stuff can be really fun and exciting and distracting.
We'll do anything for Twilight! So you want Rob to marry you?
I'm going to marry him.
Okay, now if Rob stops and sees that sign, and he literally stands up here, what are you going to tell him?
We're gonna make eye contact, and I'm gonna tell him I love him, and then he's gonna throw me in his arms. We're gonna get married.
I love you, Edward!
There are some fans locally that would stalk them.
I've been Twilight hunting like so many
So
times.
long.
I just can't meet anybody.
And I would say that they kind of, made it difficult for the other fans that weren't interested in stalking them. And they wouldn't stalk them to do them harm. They just wanted their picture taken with them. That's all they wanted. Oh, to show I met them.
Well, we've like gone downtown like a lot of times, like in the summer when they were filming and stuff.
Yeah.
And walked around and stood outside the hotel and stalked them.
I have a sense girls are more obsessive than boys about media, about movie stars, and because I think girls look for connection more than boys do. It is our developmental process as girls to be connected with others, to develop a sense of who we are. So we need to engage in relationships. It's required as part of our developmental process.
What do you like about Twilight?
Edward.
What do you like about Edward?
He's cool.
He's amazing.
The stalker is the kind that's kind of unpredictable, that would, it's kind of creepy actually, to go and hunt them, or to, chase them around, or to, like the paparazzi would pursue them, but just for the sole means of getting a picture. That's their job. And people hunger for the pictures, and there's a demand for the pictures. And as long as there's a demand for pictures, the paparazzi are going to do it. But the other fans that just, hunt them and hang around their place or go to where they're going just to insert themselves into their lives and pretend that they're their friends, those are the ones that I would be concerned about, because they're just kind of, they've crossed the line.
Miley Cyrus has a crazed stalker and he's just been released from jail. Georgia police arrested Mark McLeod June 23rd for disorderly conduct near where Miley was filming her movie The Last Song, but he was released the next day because of overcrowding. According to the New York Daily News, when McLeod was arrested, he told police the Hannah Montana star was sending him secret messages through her TV show and her photos. At one of Miley's book signings in New York last March, he even told a Daily News reporter he was going to marry her. The 53-year-old obsessed fan claims he had thousands of pictures and letters to Miley on his computer and had mailed her diamond rings. When cops handcuffed him, he supposedly yelled, "I will be with Miley. We're supposed to be together," and the cops couldn't stop it.
there's no reciprocity involved with a stalker. He or she would be obsessed with something, and that person wouldn't be inviting that.
They had crew members pick up the black screens and walk with them, so to keep the privacy. They were doing Remember Me in New York City, which is also a Summit Entertainment production. They had a nightmare of security around Rob Pattinson, 10 times worse than what it was here in Vancouver. Vancouver was nothing, okay? And when they did that, if they talk about security, it's not about the security issue, because Remember Me was a perfect example. They didn't use any of the black screens in New York. They didn't have all the security around Rob in New York, and he was mobbed on the street, and there was hundreds of fans showing up here. In Vancouver, maybe 20 fans.
I think we're obsessed with fame. With media and having so much focus and access, especially with the internet, you can get close to movie stars, do their own pages, and they do write blogs, and they do communicate, and it almost makes you feel like you can get closer to people. I wonder if there's more intensity now than there was back in the 70s because of the internet, and because you can, in a way, get a little bit closer to people.
Leave Britney Spears alone right now! I mean it. Anyone who has a problem with her, you deal with me. Because she's not well right now.
I mean, you're not just going to turn into a stalker. There's red flags that are happening, and people probably are already noticing something going on with a person when they take it too far. When they take something like that too far, generally, there's probably already something going on.
So those are the fans that think in their own mind that they're going to be friends with them.
Well, I mean, I think that some fun, healthy obsession is fun for all of us, right? We all can, I mean, it's a diversion, a distraction from things that are more difficult or more heavy, or maybe more even typical and boring. Our day-to-day sometimes can be very sort of standard, and, you know, get up and eat breakfast and go to school and come home, and, you know, so sometimes obsessions with movies and movie stars and musicians and those kinds of things can be interesting. I mean, they're fun, and everybody has fantasies. We all fantasize about things. Do you remember what my secret guilty pleasure was?
I think you gave me 2 answers.
I said Mexican chili chips and Slurpees.